about former friendships?
I've got loads of those.
I've got loads of ex-friends.
Former
so
being the crucial word.
You love a friendship breakup, don't you?
I actually don't love it. They do.
I don't go looking for it. I'm not like desperate to break up with my friends.
I just think I do have quite a high threshold on what it takes for me. Sorry, none left in there.
One sip I thought maybe I might get lucky for.
On what? Sorry, what am I saying?
I love it when you do this. You just brain farts. It's so good.
I have quite a high threshold on the
For
shit.
what makes a good friend.
And what I will allow in my life. Because if you're going to be a consistently shit friend, I just will not make an effort with you and I don't care to explain myself.
Yeah.
Because I just think, well, grow up. And like, this is going to sound really arrogant, but like, I know I'm a fucking amazing friend. Like, I will be there for the people that I love in every hour that they would need me. And I'm not prepared to have people around that aren't going to do the same for me.
Well, also, there's only so many people you can do that for. You can't be everything for everyone. It's very difficult. Capacity does not allow.
It's also different, I think, if you have different... we always say this about, like, some friends, like, some of my friends are, like, my best friends. And, like, they're not in my life every day, but, like, we go out and we have fun. And, like, you need those, like, fun, like, friends that you can go out and get pissed with. And, like, but they don't need to know all the heavy, deep shit all the time.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily call them in a crisis.
And those are the people that I don't think that you... I mean, unless they do something, they're not usually the people that you, like... have a breakup with for a friend. Yeah. It's only the people that you really let in and they really let you down. And you think, no thanks.
It's just such a funny concept. I mean, like, we kind of get it with ex-partners, I guess, that, we might not ever talk again. Like, fine, that might be best for both of us. With friends, it's so funny. Like, I think about girls that I was really close with at school and now, like, I honestly wouldn't even know what they do for a living. Like, that's crazy.
I remember feeling this so viscerally after I had like my friendship breakup after I left uni. And when you go through like a normal breakup, you know, like, okay, I'm going to grieve and then I'm going to hate him and then I'm going to like find light and then I'm going to start like, it's like such a linear process. But with friends, it's like, it's almost sometimes worse. Sorry. I think sometimes they're like, it's so much more, I don't know, because also no one knows what to say and like there's nothing to say. And
I think that's it. I don't think it's that breaking up with a partner is linear because I actually don't think it is, but I just think it's so well documented.
Yeah.
So I don't think anything shocks you when you go through the process. Like you could react differently to someone else going through a breakup, but there's such a wide like spread of what people go through that you know what to expect kind of in whatever order.
So usually most people can relate.
Yes. Whereas with a friendship breakup, it's not really well documented. There's not a lot of like good...
There's not a lot of good TikToks out there about it.
Right, we found a niche. Another one. We've been speaking recently about how we're like already washed up and old news on TikTok. Do you know in our profession, influencing, content creation, that the average age of like someone in this industry doing well...
I don't want to know it.
It's 21...
I don't want to hear it. I actually do not... I don't want to hear it.
Grandma, it is 21 to 23. We're like so ancient in this profession.
I actually wish I had an ejector seat for you right now because I'd be like, eject.
I'm actually on the opposite path at the moment. I'm like, so, babe, you are too. You've got confused. Embracing age.
You're confused.
Don't you forget. We're like, we keep texting each other at the moment like, God, we're lucky to age. God, aging is a blessing. Like we have to keep remembering that.
It is. And, you know, something that's happened quite recently has made me really reframe just every day that you're gifted is a blessing, and to reach 40 and 30 and 40, like it's such an enormous gift. And
even if we're really old on TikTok, doesn't matter. At least
that's what the Botox is for.
This is like Al's answer to everything. That's what the Botox is for.
It's the truth. If the average age is 21 to 23, babe, I'm going to need a lot of fucking Botox.
It doesn't change your insights. You know, your knowledge, your depth, your wisdom. The girls will sniff you out. They'll know that we're old. I'm going to sniff it on you. Experience. I can smell it.
But that's what I also think that's the only good part about growing up. You suddenly know stuff that you didn't know.
Wild.
It's mental.
So self-aware. It's like, whoa, God, I just stopped myself doing that thing that I used to do all the time.
And like you've experienced things that you know how to handle it. It's quite wild.
It's shocking sometimes. I see myself in certain situations and I think, God, I wouldn't have done that at 18. Whoa. She was a lady. Sorry, hi, welcome to Leave a Message. Thanks for joining us mid-convo as always.
I really think we must do a pre-record.
Don't worry, there's one in. I did think.
No, that pre-record is for leaving a message. We must do a hi, welcome to Leave a Message.
I was listening to Parenting Hell the other day and they have one. They do the same every week.
I know, and they get someone to do, oh my God.
The names.
Why do we get they get like a 3-year-old?
Yeah, because they guess the age. What are we going to do? Guess the age of the galley? I don't know, 22.
Why don't we do it so that Gallies, you let us know if you think this is a good idea. We've got to have different accents.
Yeah.
Every week.
Okay.
And we've got to guess.
I don't know that our listenership pool is that wide.
Babe, have you seen our analytics?
We're going to have South Africans, girls from Clapham,
Canadian.
and my mum. And Canadians. That's it. That's actually it. Okay? I love girls from Clapham because I'm about to become a girl from Clapham.
I
It's
just
my
think
favourite thing to say.
it's so funny.
It's so funny. What would a girl from Clapham be called? Can we call the Gallies a girl?
Oh. It would be like Pippa. Perfect. Jordan North the other day on Sex and my boss was so funny. He was like talking to this. They were talking. There was a PR girl in the room and called like Mike, and he was like, "I'm surprised your name isn't Pippa, Lottie,
Molly."
Like Ellie.
Yes.
Pippa, Lottie, Molly, Litty, Lottie.
Litty, Pitty, Kitty, Witty. Yeah, all the same. I love those names.
Do you?
Yeah, I wish I had a girly name.
That's because you're a Clapham girl now.
Yes. Get me on the common at Rum
Georgie's
Club.
quite a Clapham girl name.
Georgie.
Oh my God.
Do you know what? My name on Hinge is Georgie. And this guy the other night that I was on a date with, he went, so Georgie. And I was like, ew. Like, honestly, I forgot that I'd done that. Because,
why did you do that on Hinge then?
Because Holly said that G sounds like a fake like wasteman name. She was like, it sounds so weird, like G, like it's so like elusive and weird.
You sound like you're trying to like have this like alternative identity.
Yeah, and then Georgina's just like too strong. Like imagine first date, someone sitting down and going, so Georgina. I'd be like, ugh, Dad? Ugh. Horrible.
What did you get called when you were a kid? Georgie.
George.
Her mum calls her Georgie, and when she says it, I think
no, my mum calls me George, I think.
Georgie. She does sometimes say Georgie.
Yeah, and sometimes she says Gigi. She just like makes it up.
And I do think, who's she talking about?
Who is that? I literally looked at this man and I thought, so you're speaking about another girl on our date? And then I realised it was me.
Oh my God, it's me?
Oh my God, it's me.
Pippa, line us up, rack it up.
Yeah, Pippa number 1.
Hey girls, absolutely love Drive Through in the pod. I look forward to it every single week. Thought I would just send in a voice note all the way from Australia, but I'll start with my dilemma. I think I'm currently living through a ghosting.
Oh.
My best friend of 3 going on 4 years, and I haven't spoken in about 3 months. To give some kind of context to this, we went to secondary school together and we're now in second year uni. But we also go to uni now in different states. And so it's kind of like this long distance thing during the semester. But we last saw each other in February at the end of our summer holidays here. And after our final get together, where we went to a concert, and it was so much fun. It was a really big night. Every single text message, FaceTime, DM, and TikTok has been met with silence. She's not responded to me at all. She is, however, very active on her socials, so stories, posts. So I know at some time during the day she is on her phone. After February, Easter holidays roll around and still nothing. I go home for the holidays to our shared hometown. And now in my mind, she isn't coming back to visit because that's what she told me at the start of the year. She's staying in her state. But I was going about my day and I receive a call from a mutual and they say, well, I've just seen her. She's back home. And in that moment, my stomach literally turned because the whole time I was convincing myself that it wasn't a big deal and that everything was fine because I had genuinely never sensed any type of tension or friction between us. It was like quite, in my mind, a healthy friendship. But now it's the end of May, still haven't received any kind of contact, still left unopened, delivered on everything. What's the next move? Do I text her again and ask her why she isn't responding and risk being ignored? Or do I just sit and wait? Or do I begin the whole moving on process from someone I genuinely thought would be my friend for the rest of my life? Thanks, girls.
Oh my God, Pippa 1, my heart actually breaks.
Babe, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Have you? Yeah. What do you mean though?
Like almost the same timeline. They three-ish years. BFFFFs, not with one girl, like we were a group. And we'd seen each other. I can't remember what happened, but I'd invited them somewhere. And then I just didn't hear from them for 3 months. Like just complete blackout of communication. And that would have been in like almost exactly the same time as well, like February. And then come like May, June, I saw one of them had like invited everyone, including the other two, to her house to like something that I would have normally been invited to, message them, nothing. Like just nothing.
So more than one girl?
Yeah, they were the group of girls from uni.
Yeah, that's so hard because it just feels like, I mean, I had that at school where it's just like girls like conspire and they just kind of decide that you're not in the group anymore. But with one friend where your relationship is the two of you, that is fucking hardcore.
My immediate thought is something's happened. She can't, I don't know why I always do this with people, but like my immediate emotional response would be, she's done something that she can't face, because there is actually no other explanation for that.
Well, and if there is a different explanation, it's like odd that you didn't feel anything, like any vibes coming from her side, as in if she thought that you didn't have much in common anymore, that you weren't gelling, like all of that stuff. Odd that you didn't feel that from her, like you were having a really good time and everything felt normal to you.
Yeah.
Really odd.
Yeah.
And also odd that she, for a friendship of that long, feels like she can't communicate to you. Like I will never get over, well, I understand it because I've been there. It's sometimes really hard to like own up to your behavior or your truth. But I do just think like that is wrong. You can't not reply. That's wild.
Yeah, offs, babe, but people do it. And it's like, the thing is as well, you can't force them to reply. So like you have to find a way. It really is so like relationship dependent, because like for me, for example, I just go into like fury. I just think, well, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to behave like that, I will fucking burn your house to the ground.
Sure.
And like I would then, like if I did see them, I would just be like a stone cold bitch.
Yeah.
But it's dependent on what you actually, if you want her back as a friend, you have to say something. Go to her house. If you know
I was going to say, I would go to her house or I would write a letter. I would stop with the texting because I just think
obviously not working.
Not being received. So I would either turn up at her front door.
Agreed.
I know where you live, been your friend for 3 years, and I know your fucking mum's name, so she'll let me in. Or I'd write a letter.
100%.
Because I do think, and then at the end of the letter, you can kind of say, like, I would really appreciate a response.
But even that, she's not forced to do it.
She doesn't have to, but I just think you've then said everything you need to say in a way that is like really meaningful. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And in a way that isn't just like, you can't disregard a letter. I always think that. I don't know why. I guess it's because someone's taken the time to sit down and write it. So people have more of a like kind of emotional response to a letter, I think.
I think I think if you're going to do it, you have to kind of go in kind of expecting the worst and expect that she won't reply. And then if she does reply, do you know what I mean? Because otherwise you pin hope on it. Because if she's not replying to a text, like these days texts are letters, do you know what I mean? Like it's also...
they're not though, because they're so like quick and easy. And it's,
but that's half the problem, is it's quick and easy for you to reply.
Well, yeah, but also I think the whole like virtual thing makes it not real. It's like you can ignore it. Like I can leave you on red. I can just like leave you in my archive, no worries.
A letter does seem more sincere.
Why is that? I think it does.
Oh, it's because it's like old school. Yeah. Like harks back to like when people actually spoke to each other.
And when you like cared to sit down, take your time.
I'm really sorry, babe.
Babe, I'm really sorry.
It's so painful, and it's like exactly what we were saying. Like no one knows what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do? There's
like
no
you
rule
said,
book for
going
this.
over like the grieving process. Like, yeah, maybe you do start that, because even if she comes back to you with a really good explanation, she's let you down. Like it's been 3 months of her not being a good friend to you.
Your friendship might not ever be the same that it was.
Exactly.
And like the one thing I will say is that I don't know how old you are, but sometimes like
was she second year uni?
As you get older, 3
year.
years in the grand scheme of your life, like you'll look back and think, oh, well, she was someone I only knew for, like you might think, oh, it was only someone I knew for a while. Do you know what I mean? Like it's heartbreaking. Obviously, it's so heartbreaking. But like,
also to not know the why. I think we're such like curious creatures. Like to be kept in the dark about something that is like impacting your life, I think is so unfair.
I always say this though. I think trying to understand why people do things or behave in a specific way, like it's just wasted energy.
Yeah, you're always going to be met
know
with why. You don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't have done that. Huh?
It's not about you. It's never about you.
I wouldn't have done that. But you've obviously chosen to behave in a way that I can't understand. So like, fine, you do you. I'm going to try and close this wound on my, on
my own.
It's hard. It's
really
so
It's
hard.
happened to me before.
Did it?
Yeah, with a girl that I thought was going to be like my bridesmaid. And it turned out that she'd heard something from a girl who's like basically said I said something about her that I didn't. But then I was just like, okay, well, you didn't even give me the decency of being like, this, I heard this, what happened?
Wild.
So now I'm a bit like, oh, well, our friendship could never be the same now because you just didn't communicate
and
with
also
me.
like, what, you're going to believe the first thing that you've heard about me and you're not even going to
know
check
me.
that?
You
friends
know
for
me.
years.
You know I wouldn't say that.
Babe, I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry.
And just go to her house, write her a letter, or
catch her and speak to her.
Or if you don't want to do any of those things and you feel like you want to move on, try and close the wound on your own. I would recommend trying to salvage something first.
I think it's nice to always be able to say like, I gave it my best shot. Don't know about you, hun, but I did my best.
Imagine you just don't taste me.
Imagine.
Imagine.
I just drained the bank account, never talk to you again. Epic.
I always...
Do you think that? Sometimes I think I'll do it as a prank just to like get you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even know, babe. I never go into that bank account. Honestly, you could take every penny in there. Wouldn't even know.
Please don't. I like my job.
Before we continue with this week's episode of Leave a Message,
if you want to be part of our group chat, make sure you leave us a voice note using all the details in the episode description.
Now, this can be about anything. Obviously, sometimes we ask you for specific topics, but if you've got a story that you think girls need to hear this, then get voice noting.
Paper number 2?
Yes.
Hey Gallies, absolutely obsessed with you guys and the podcast and the drive-thrus since day one. Anyways, I've got a bit of a friendship and dating dilemma mixed into one, kind of an am I the arsehole situation, just need your help. So my best friend is like unreal. She's so romantically and sexually successful. Like her Hinge matches go on for days. I'm so here for it and happy for her. I'm not that type. Let's just say I'm not in the like conventional bracket of beauty. I'm 23, never really had anyone interested in me, and I'm way too chicken for the apps. Way too chicken. Anyways, I met this guy on a train one day and we really like hit it off. So we've been on a few dates, and I'll admit I've been in a haze, like completely dumbfounded by this new experience. Having a great time, you know. So I've been to tell my friends about it, shown them all the pictures of us together, and my best friend loses her mind. Says that she's matched with him on Hinge. I'm obviously devastated. Then kind of we get to the bottom of it a bit more, and turns out it was months ago before I'd even met this guy, and they'd never spoken. They just had matched on Hinge. So like nothing ever happened between them. And again, like I said, this is not, one of few. She is a perfect woman. So she has so many Hinge matches. And I just adore her, but she's really, really upset with me that I want to carry on seeing this guy, saying that I'm breaking girl code, doing her really dirty. Is this selfish of me? Because they never did speak, and she has, so many people in love with her all the time, and she's so happy, but this one guy she's latched onto that she's never spoken to. I feel like I'm going a bit crazy. Hope you can help, gals.
Babe, you're not crazy.
I love you.
Babe, you're not crazy. I want to make that abundantly clear. You best be hearing my words loud and clear.
Sorry, Al was just gasping at the mic. Honestly, she couldn't wait to speak then.
Also, all these girls, I've lived that too. Not of me, but one of my best mates, that happened exactly the same thing. I feel like everyone's in my head. There was a guy, this other girl liked him, nothing had ever happened. Then my friend...
2 of your friends?
Yes, and then my... I
know it too.
slept with him.
Always...
No, babe, It's always PP. Boys fell at PP's feet.
PP. I've had exactly the same. But can I say, one of the girls
you must reach
with the guy now. And they're trying for a baby. So it's actually crazy.
Okay, I don't actually think that Dibs applies to anyone in this instance.
Yeah, Dibs is really tricky here because actually I would say you would normally, the normal rule if you're both on dating apps and you're both dating would be whoever got there first has dibs. That would kind of be the like normal rule unless there was kind of some like, if you could put special conditions in the ring, like, he's like everything I manifested and you must back off, bitch. But mostly it's probably like first comes, first serve. But with this, you had a meet cute, like you met in real life.
Agree. I think that actually trumps a Hinge date.
I think potentially, they didn't even go on a date. It sounds like they just matched.
Okay, it would be different if your friend had said, we went on a date and I really liked him. And then just by chance you happen to meet cute him. Then yeah, she does have dibs.
But then also I think you would both have to go, okay, we're more important than that. So let's both step away. Like in that, like genuinely. And then if it comes a year later and you're still thinking about me still available, fine. I do think, and I don't quite know how to word this well, so bear with, girls. I think there might be a conversation to be had with your friend about perhaps her clinging on to the fact that she's the one that gets the guys.
I wrote pick me girl.
And her not quite liking
the fact that all of a sudden someone that picked her also has picked you.
Because you play the wallflower. I'm sure you're fucking brilliant, babe. And I'm sure your friends would say that you're an absolute catch. But you obviously have a narrative about yourself that you're like not... Sorry, Al's going to laugh at me because narrative. Sorry, I picked up the wanky term.
Babe.
Is that the wrong... But that's right in this sense.
No,
it's like,
correct, it's correct.
It's like we say it about me. Sometimes I play the ugly...
About the
I play the ugly duckling because it's easier, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. So
the ugly duckling narrative.
Sure.
Yes.
So I think you've donned the coat of ugly duckling and now your friend isn't quite liking that you potentially might get a guy that she probably even disregarded, just matched with him, never even arranged a date.
It's like an ego thing.
Or like
And some people just like to be outraged. Have you ever noticed? Like,
have you met me, babe?
No, but you're outraged in a normal, like, this is very specific.
No,
I think you're right.
I like your outrage.
Also, like, if it was like your bestie that never gets guys and you're shagging every Friday, you'd be like, go get him, girl.
But that's why I don't think she's that good of a friend, because like if that is the actual like the dynamic of your friendship, where she's always the one going, oh, like I'm too chicken and no one ever picks me, and like, why would your friend not want you to go out and be like, don't worry, I've got 50 other people that are waiting for me.
So you met him and you liked him. You never liked guys. You never
babe.
Epic. I think it's a conversation, babe, to have with your friend, and I think it's going to be uncomfortable because no one likes a mirror.
Pick me girl, and like stop pretending like.
Let me have this one.
It is always the girls, though. I'm sorry to generalise. The girls that are popular with the boys.
And fit.
They always behave like this. And I just think you're actually only doing it out of pure principle. Like
territory.
Yeah.
Secretly insecure.
Not
potentially.
Secretly, quite highly insecure,
Maybe
clearly.
play her this episode.
Huh?
Maybe we play her this episode.
Oh, good. Oh, hi, babe, if you're listening. Love you. We're all flawed. Don't worry about it. We just wanted to ask.
No, babe, what you must do is you must put us in your kitchen or something. I don't know if you live
together. Just play it.
In the background.
Because no one will know it's you. If you just skip the voice note, no one will know it's you. We could talk about anybody.
And also there's that whole thing about like subconsciousness. If you hear it in your subconscious, you might think, oh God, maybe I am a
really good.
Girl.
Or when we cut up the TikTok, we'll make sure we cut your bit out and we'll just do it. And then you can send her the TikTok and be like, how funny. This is the same as what we're going through, lol.
That's genius.
Also, sorry, has he got a say? Do we want to ask him?
No, he's just like in a Hinge date. I don't think he really gets
Well, this is the thing. Even if he doesn't last, it's like principally like, can you step out of the shadows of your gorgeous, gorgeous BF? I love that you said she's romantically and sexually successful. If anyone ever said that about me, I'd be over the moon. I'm romantically and sexually successful. I think you're quite sexually successful.
Much more sexually successful than me. Jack messaged me this morning saying, I'm listening to I'm listening to a lot about your and Rory's sex life at the moment. The bit's quite short. I thought,
Poor Raw, they had a great time. You should hear what she got up to in Greece.
Huh?
I said they should hear what you got up to in Greece.
Yeah, twice, guys, in a week, actually. And now I just feel like I can rest easy.
I can sleep with my eyes closed, knowing that he's not going to touch
I
me.
was thinking, it's so funny. Sorry, this is not related to the voice note, where you're like, sometimes you do have those moments in a relationship where you're like, just could not be at the more opposite ends of the sexual spectrum in one moment.
Yes.
And I just think,
Oh God, do explore that for me.
like, he's raring to go, and I've got my LED mask and my hair mask in, and I'm in my dressing gown,
And you think, oh.
and I've got my laptop and my hard drive out, and I just think, sorry, are we talking the same language?
Also, do you ever think, what's turned you on? What about right now has made you horny? Because I honestly am anti-horn. I'm trying to repel you.
repellent.
I'm trying to turn you off,
Yes.
babe. And somehow I've got it very wrong. Is it the dressing gown? Because please do tell, because I won't be wearing it again. You fucking make that clear.
About me that's turning you on, I will bin it.
I will change it because I must know.
I must know how not to turn you on.
I've put a safe suit on and I'm not safe. Rock hard. And I don't know what to do with that. Hand job for you. Should we move on? Are we ready for a roundup?
I'm ready.
Number 1. Oh God, she's been ghosted by her mate. I've just remembered and it's brought me right back down to earth. It's so horrifically sad.
Okay, it's not horrifically sad.
Oh yeah, good point. Sorry.
It's
God,
not-
I got so half his cup empty.
It's not horrifically sad yet, because you can still save this. If you want to save it, you can still save this. It requires you putting your big girl pants on and confronting her.
and a lot of effort.
Yeah, and you are, unfortunately, and I've learned this the hard way in my life, that sometimes people should do things that they just don't fucking do or say, and you have to be the person. You have to be the bigger person.
You've got to take the knee sometimes.
Even though they're a piece of shit, you have to be the bigger person, because otherwise you'll just both exist in hatred.
And also sometimes people do need, I don't know her character, but sometimes people do need that person to pull them out. If she's so in her head, if she's worked up, like Rahana said, if there's something she's heard that she thinks you said, whatever it is, she needs someone to go, no, we're not doing that. Pull her out. And you might have to be the one to do that, which is annoying because it's happening to you.
But hold your ground, because if she starts saying all this bullshit stuff, no, you have to we were talking about this in the car the other day, practice the script in the mirror before, okay?
Yes.
You must look in the mirror and pretend like you're talking to her and be very clear and concise and say, you've really, really hurt me, and I don't stand for people disrespecting me like that. I thought we were best friends, and you knew everything about my life, and then what? One day, suddenly you just can't reply to my messages. It's so highly rude, but it's also really hurtful. Have I done anything wrong? And if I haven't, please explain yourself.
Absolutely. And the
And if
best
she goes,
lesson
"La, la, 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 la,"
is say less. Because this is what Al keeps telling me off for. In conversations like that, I say so much. I just say
my
words.
fucking God.
And then by the end of it, I've just gone, sorry, I didn't really need to say anything. Sorry. And then I'm just back in my box. So
And
you
even now
must
she's
say
just
less.
saying, sorry, I didn't need to say anything. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Be clear, concise.
And then get out of there.
And get out.
Her voice notes, guys, sometimes when she's trying to say something. The other day, I thought I'm going to jump
Yeah,
out
anyway,
the window.
so basically, I
And
love
then
you,
you
shouldn't
there.
have said anything, or maybe I'll just delete this.
Obviously, if you-
I never say what I mean. Right, Pippa number 2 has a bit of a territorial friend.
Okay, I don't want to speak too early, and I don't. Everything is very age dependent, because in 5 years she'll be over it.
This is the thing. If you're 32, it's so different. This is serious. We're
Yes.
talking man for life. We're trying to get locked in different.
But if
you're
you're
18, 21, it's let him be if he wants to be, let him leave if he wants to leave. It's more fundamental than that. It's if this is your ride or die BF, you need to look her in the eye and be like, babe, what's going on here? Because this behaviour makes no sense to me. You matched with him on Hinge and you're making a big old fuss.
She's not going to do that, babe. She can't even get on the apps. She says she's chicken about the apps.
No, she's chicken about the apps because men have penises and they're scary. Your friend is your friend and you know her and she knows you, and you can pluck up the courage, and this is coming from me. I'm so cowardly. But you can do it. You can look at her and be like, babe, I just want to understand what's going on. Because something's not right.
Yeah.
If it's about the guy, it's about the guy, but I don't believe that's what it's about. Is it because you're worried that I'm suddenly not going to be here for you anymore like I have been because I'm single and you're my rock?
No, of course it's not, babe. It's a cock off.
Or it's a cock off.
It is a cock off. And the sad thing is that okay, obviously do what she says. Go and speak to her. But I actually sadly think that that is not the fixer, because that's not the issue. The issue is she thinks, I'm so beautiful, I'm so pretty.
No, but this is what I'm saying. You don't know that. So you have to find her reasoning for the reaction.
The reasoning, though, because that is, I would put money on it, 20 quid, that is the reason.
20?
20. 20. And I actually still owe you 20 quid for a bet.
I know. I'm gagging for it.
What can you say? Because if she just says...
Well, also, it's pretty self-aware for someone to look you in the eye and be like, can you tell me what the reason is? And for you to go, well, actually, I'm the beautiful one. And now you're getting attention. Like, that, if she says that, fair fucks to her. She
might say, yeah, but I matched with him first. And then
you just have to unpick it. You just say, is it that?
Yeah, you've got to really just like get in the trenches.
Keep going with her. Poke the bear till she blows and tells you the real reason. Then you can be like, okay, ugly, but fine. I'll see you're ugly. I love you, so let's go there, babe. It's like with you doing the perfect TikToks the other day. Ugly of me, but, you know, I told you.
I also want to say this is also, like, this is going to sound really, like, sad and depressing, and I'm trying not to be sad
What a good note to end on, come on.
I don't know how old you guys are, and I don't know how old our average listener is, but I think so many friendship, like, messes in your early 20s you think will define your friendships forever. Sadly, we only can take a handful of people with us for our whole life, through our whole life. And like, you know, if you have a friend who's ghosting you, or if you have a friend that's making you feel a bit funny about a guy, like, and it doesn't work out and you don't manage to resolve it, obviously the best case scenario is that you do, and that they do come through life with you and they are there next to you at your wedding, and like that is best case scenario. But like, I also just want to reassure you that if that's not what happens, that is also okay.
They weren't meant to stay with you.
Yeah, and like some people are just seasonal in your life, and that's how it works. And it is heartbreaking because, you know, you find friends that you love and like you feel like you understand each other, and then all of a sudden everything's just different and like it doesn't make any sense and people are behaving so weirdly, and I wouldn't do that. It doesn't, what is meant to be will be, and if they're not meant to be in your life, they will not be in your life.
Yeah, and there's a lot that you shouldn't put up with just to try and keep people around.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, should we do question of the week?
Come on then.
Okay, are you ready? This week's question of the week.
Can we get a little jingle?
Yes, I was just thinking that. On my wavelength.
And then I wanted to be like, question, or like on the
question of the week. Like that. Do you feel comfortable speaking to your parents about sex?
Oh, I saw this.
Okay, but I did a little like caveat, because you should vote yes, even if it applies to one parent. Because I thought a lot of like girls might say, yeah, my mum, but not my dad.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, we speak about it openly. No way, so cringe.
I reckon 90% of people have voted no.
So it's actually 71%.
Oh.
No way, so cringe. But it's like a lot more votes. 29%, yeah, we speak about it openly.
That's actually quite a high percentage. Well, maybe it's not. It's just
29%.
That's about a third.
I would say, yeah, I do.
Oh.
But I don't know why that is, and I don't know what has like fostered that relationship with my parents.
It's a sliding scale, because if you want to say, to speak openly to your parents about sex, are you having sex, is different to, did you give him a blowjob last night?
Yeah.
It's a real spectrum.
Yeah, like, are you talking like positions with your mum?
Do you know what I mean? Like, I would say to my mum, like my mum even would say, sex is a muscle, you must continue to have. Everyone's on my back about having sex.
Poor Al. She's desperate to get some sleep.
Desperately, come on then. Best fit one in this week. It's almost midnight on Sunday.
My mum said I better do a maintenance shag, so I better get my dressing gown on.
She said it's like a muscle.
It is a muscle.
And if you let the muscle weaken, it's very difficult to retrain it.
I don't think she's wrong.
And she said it's a language. Sex is a language between two. I said,
shut the fuck up. You shag him then.
No, she's right.
You do it.
She's right.
She's right.
No. Like,
so you would talk about it with her in more of like a practical sense.
Well, only because I hate sex. Oh, that's an exaggeration.
Don't say that.
I don't hate sex. I don't hate sex. I
don't hate sex.
Oh, poor Raw. He's making out like I'm making out like we're celibate and he gets laid once a year.
I know, God love him.
All of his friends as well must be thinking, oh God, poor Raw. Don't worry, everyone. I am actually doing my military service, okay?
She puts out, she does God's work.
So in that respect, I would, in terms of like the importance, but I wouldn't be saying, oh yeah, he slipped a finger in last night. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I actually probably with my mum would speak in like depth and detail.
What would you say? Like
I gave her quite graphic detail about Friday night because I just thought, why not?
What does she say?
She just goes, oh my God, did you wear a condom? That's all she's obsessed with.
Yeah. I mean, babe, she's fine.
How old is your mum?
Good question. How old are my parents? No, who knows? My mum is 60. What year is it? 24.
Yeah.
My mum's 64. Yeah. But I think it's because
She was born in 1960.
Yeah. Because my parents had loads of sex when I was younger and I used to walk in on them all the time. I think that's why we've got an open relationship about sex.
Sorry, when's her birthday?
May the 5th.
She's a pig.
Taurus.
She's a Taurus.
She's a pig. Pigs and rats are best friends. That's why you're such good friends.
Really good. On that
wait,
note,
you're not a rat.
I am. No, I'm not.
No, you are.
Oh,
You're
I
96,
am.
You are.
Yeah. Sorry, on that note, do or don't speak to your parents about sex because I don't know that it helps. I don't know that it's necessary. I think it's just interesting.
Yeah, and definitely. Would you say to your mum, babe, did Martin fuck you up the bum last night?
I literally ask her all the time. And I remember the last time, this is such a funny story and she'll kill me for saying this. I might have said it on drive.
Linda, turn this off now.
No, mum, turn it off. And also it's one of those stories where I'm like, am I lying? You know those stories that I'm sure this happened, but if I'm lying, soz mum, and I will correct myself. But I'll never forget when my dad got poorly, he had cancer and he was in the hospital. And like this whole thing was about whether like, you know, I think most of his sadness around being ill was not because he thought he might die. It was because he'd like kind of like lost his like self and his like sexiness and his like charisma and all this stuff because he had mouth cancer. Anyway, I remember saying to my mum, like, we were talking about that and I was like, God, do you think that's really what he's sad about? Like, were you shagging much before? And she was like, oh yeah. And I was like, well, would you shag him now? And she was like, well, I gave him a hand job in hospital the other day. And I was like, on the ward, on the cancer ward, with the survivors. You're mad.
All the places to give
curtains closed, babe.
Good for her.
Yeah,
they could be popping their clogs, but she best get one last handy in.
I don't think she does it anymore. I think they've stopped now. But yeah, that was like his last hurrah. He had a handy in his hospital gown. Easy access, I guess. Sexy. Thanks so much for listening to Leave a Message. If that was too much, don't worry, I won't talk about my dad getting a hand job again. And we will see you next week.
Love you.
Love you, bye.